we are able to show the world who we are, and if we are able to tell our own stories, then we start owning our narrative and we start controlling, what everyone thinks about us. But more importantly, we start telling ourselves who we really are.
I'm Vanessa Canby, and I was so excited to see that Ghana was featured in Black is King, Beyonce's new visual album on Disney+. I have David, who was the director of photography, the man behind the camera of those shots in Ghana today. I am so delighted to have David on my channel today. David was director of photography on the new Black is King by Beyonce for Disney+. When did you hear that you were going to be a director of photography on this film?
So I heard about this actually. It's been a year because this project has been in. It's been ongoing for a while. So it's something that we did about almost a year ago. So I heard about it just about a few weeks before day of shooting, or probably like a week or probably 2 weeks. It wasn't too long between the time I heard it and the time we had to shoot.
Wow,
So,
that's a really short lead in.
Yeah, it was really short. But there was so much that went into the planning that actually made everything perfect on set that you feel like, oh, so we know exactly what we are doing at this exact time. And yeah, I think that's what even made it much easier for us to work on this. But
so had they already started planning the portion that you filmed in Ghana before you heard that you were going to be shooting it?
I think a bit, but a lot of it was pre-planned. A lot too was creative inspiration as we got there. Because I remember there are some scenes that we knew what we wanted, but how we wanted it, we had to walk through the streets of Boanuh just to be inspired by the place. Like the scene with the little kiosk definitely wasn't in the script, but the people were. Right. So the idea was that we would walk through those streets and be inspired by the things that we saw and just capture from there. So it was, there were pre-planning that went on, but also being able to be open while you're on set and just to be inspired by your environment. Although these are places that I've literally been my whole life. I've been in Ghana throughout, but it's still possible to see certain things and feel like, this would look good on camera. Although you say like a million times.
No, definitely. And so what was your favorite parts that you shot for the film?
My favorite part? I don't know, but I would say that one of my favorite parts definitely would be the surfing scene. That wasn't in the already music video. That was, I think,
it was just after. I remember seeing it. It was in the next scene, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was. Was it Mr. Easy's or either that or yeah, I think it was in that song. I'm not sure, but it wasn't in the already music video. But I was like, hey, this shot actually made the cut, and I was so excited. I even put it on my Instagram story.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw you put that up and you said like one of my favorite shots made it in. Yeah. And so for anyone that doesn't know anything about filmmaking, what is the process that a film goes through like this Beyonce film? Like what part do you play for people that don't really know those things?
I think for the most basic bits, film production is actually just, it's in like, I think 5 different phases. Mainly being, the development, that's where you're working with the art directors, the people who are creating the concept and the scripts, moving down to pre-production where you need to find the people, you need who you're shooting, the cast, the location scouting, everything that even has to go into costume and styling and all of that. The production, that is the day of the shooting, post-production. So production is where I was involved. Then there's post-production as well as distribution. Distribution is when it gets to the final consumer on Disney Plus or any other platform. So my main involvement was in the production aspect. People ask me, what does director of photography mean? I quite remember I got a text from one of my lecturers and he thought it was, oh, so I took pictures? I was like, no. I was the guy behind the camera. I was the guy holding the camera. That's literally, director of photography is an aspect of cinematography. And a cinematographer, cinematographer has to do a lot with, camera techniques and lighting and all the things that, go on behind the camera on production day. So that, I think that's that's like the fundamentals of filmmaking and what my involvements look like.
So how did it feel for you being a part of this and seeing your name on the credits of this film?
It was really exciting. It was very, very exciting for me, for my parents,
Oh, that's so
my
nice.
friends, for everyone. It was like one of those moments that you feel you have, done something that the whole world is proud of you for. So it was actually very exciting when, I posted it everywhere in case you didn't catch that.
In case anyone would miss it.
I don't go on Facebook, but I had to go and post it on Facebook.
Oh.
So, yeah, I was really excited. Yeah.
And then I'm sure people would love to know, like, have you ever spoken to Beyonce, and did she do any sort of like engagement with all those involved?
It was a huge crew and a lot of people involved in this. My part didn't involve, being direct with Beyonce. So I haven't, spoken to Beyonce as you're asking. So I think my part wasn't, the scenes that I shot did include Beyonce physically.
Yeah. And people also want to know, did Beyonce come to Ghana? But as you're saying, the Ghana scenes were shot by you guys in the production, and she wasn't actually there. Is that right?
No, she wasn't actually in Ghana. But the main controversy people are trying to figure out was Shatta Wale really with Beyonce? That I can tell you for sure that yes, they were together in the same room. It wasn't green screen as people are speculating. It was
right,
actually
okay.
together in a room shooting that video.
Where did they shoot their part?
I have to confirm, but I think it was shot in the US.
All right, okay. And so Shatta Wale obviously was there doing that part. Yeah.
Yeah, he was there.
And then, okay, so obviously that is quite a highlight of your career. Is there any other moments in your career that you've been like really proud of?
Prior to that, and a lot of people ask, how is it that I got on this project? I think there are things that have led to this moment and different projects that I've worked on. So Joshua put me on this, Joshua Kisi. He's like my big brother, and we've worked on many other projects. We worked on the Hip Life projects with Apple. Joshua and Prince Jesse were directors on that project. Prior to that, I've worked with him on a project for Tony Chocolonely. That's a chocolate company in the Netherlands. So, it was a sequence of things that we've done prior. And every time he's in Ghana, we are together. Like I say, he's kind of like my big brother. So he kind of entrusted me to be able to work on this just because we've done other things that he was pretty satisfied with.
Amazing. And so if we take it right back, when did you first realize that you wanted to be involved in film?
I figured that I was somewhere in university. An interesting story where, I was in Ashesi University. We were supposed to, just in our freshman year, we were supposed to work on an assignment that had to, do with anything actually. You can represent your solution however you wanted to. And my team and I decided to make a video. And I was the guy behind the camera. So that was my very first video that I made. But prior to that, there are other things that kind of led to me falling in love with filmmaking. I'm a poet, and I feel like my films are a huge extension of poetry. Um, I was into photography just before filmmaking, so I kind of knew how to work the camera a little bit, but I wasn't doing it professionally all prior to that moment. I actually started professional work with filmmaking and not even photography. So those were kind of like a series of events. I've kind of been a creative for a long time, so it just translated into a different medium. Me being able to express myself, and it's even the same things that I used to do in poetry that I do in film. Just, it's just a different form of storytelling.
And what were you studying at Shatta?
Management information systems.
Oh, so something pretty different to filmmaking then.
Yeah, totally unrelated to filmmaking.
And what did your parents think when you decided to like pursue a career in filmmaking?
Oh, what do they think? Well, starting off, I was still figuring out a lot of things. So it wasn't something I really discussed with them so much until it started to look pretty serious. So I
Okay.
definitely needed to start talking to them about it. I quite remember one time I had to leave the country to go talk for a presentation in Amsterdam. And I almost forgot to tell my parents because I was in university by then. And when I got home and I was packing, and my mom was like, "Where are you going?" It's like, I told you. I told my dad, but I forgot to tell her. So that was when I realized that, wait, this is actually becoming a career, and I have to, start involving them at some point. So we started talking more extensively by then. But prior to that, I had thrown hints, but it looked like a hobby to them. And to myself, I wasn't sure what the path looked like. So yeah, it was a gradual. It was kind of like a gradual shift of me figuring out that this really is what I enjoy doing most, and it has to be a full-time career.
How long have you been doing it now?
So professionally, I would say somewhere in second year in university. So it's been like 3-4 years.
Oh, okay. Cool. And what do you think the fact that, for example, this film, Beyonce's film, was, they shot a piece in Ghana, but also there's been other films quite recently that have shot in Ghana. What do you think that sort of means for the creative industry in Ghana, and how have you seen it change over those 4 years that you've worked in it?
I think there's this huge attention on Ghana, not just Ghana and other African countries, but you can see that Ghana is getting a lot of attention. I can't really trace back to what started that, but that is also largely dependent on year of return, but also the need for people trying to understand themselves, and people trying to dig deep into their roots to be able to connect, and just understand themselves in general. I think that is what caused that shift and focus to Africa. But I think this is also huge for the creative industry, because we will start seeing a lot more collaborations between Ghana and other parts of the world. And also Ghana and other countries on Africa, in Africa, because it's now more than ever that we are seeing the need for collaboration, right? And I think this would generally boost the industry's what the industry is doing to much further heights that we possibly could have done on our own. That's how I see it.
No, it is really amazing. And I think even going back, I saw Obama in Ghana in, I think it was like 2009 or something like that. But, he even said then that he thought Ghana was like, the fastest growing economy in Africa. He thought it was like a really stable economy, a safe place to go. So I feel like even going back to then, politicians were speaking highly of Ghana, and it probably increased the attention that was brought to Ghana. Oops. What's next for you, David? Where do you see your film career going, and what is like your dreams and ambitions?
My dreams and ambitions. I think that's very diverse. Let me try and see where I can start from. So,
Like, yeah.
for filmmaking, I'm looking at creating. I have a company called Beautiful Story Studios, which I co-founded with Eric Boanuh. It's a Sunday, so he's not here right now. But what we believe in is to tell the diverse stories of Africa through filmmaking and photography. He's a photographer. So with this film that we just did with Beyonce, that being a part, of what we believe in. So you're looking at actually creating more diverse stories of Africa. Just also with the idea that the concept of single story is also the mitigation of single story is actually largely dependent on the film industry, which I believe personally. Because if we are able to show the world who we are, and if we are able to tell our own stories, then we start owning our narrative and we start controlling, what everyone thinks about us. But more importantly, we start telling ourselves who we really are. And that really is what my entire company is founded around, to be able to tell these stories. So we are looking at making films, documentary films, feature films, some of which are in the works of development, some of which we hope to start production soon. And also, more importantly, starting with short films and a lot of things that a lot of these kind of films people will be seeing more in the next coming months or years. So I think people should look forward to that by Beautiful Stories Studios.
That's really exciting. So where can people look out for those? Should they follow you on Instagram, or is there a page for your company?
Yeah. On Instagram, we are beautifulstories.projects. You can also find our works on Vimeo. So we work for different clients and different institutions that need content. You can find our works on Vimeo, vimeo.com/beautifulstories.
Thanks so much for watching this video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and let me know what you thought of Black is King in the comments below. See you later.